Different movie.
But no, that's Indiana Jones. They kind of sound familiar, don't they? But anyways,
Indiana
we're
Jones.
live. Yeah, well, it had the same guy in it. So we are recording. Welcome to another episode of 2Noobs2Boobs, and may the 4th be with you. Live long and prosper. Everybody's gonna be like, "What?" Like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited! It is Super Star Wars Day, and then tomorrow is another Star Wars Day. Return of the 5th."
Cinco de Mayo. Oh yeah.
I was like, what? Oh, yeah,
so,
Return of the 5th.
Yeah, I got 2 full days in a row of Star Wars Day. Exciting.
Crazy.
It's exciting.
Like my little BB-8.
Your little BB-8? I have a BB-8 too. Where's he at? Oh, look, I got him right here. I got my little Star Wars of Funkos and all this other stuff. As you can tell, we're all huge Star Wars nerds, right, Joe? Show us your Star Wars toy. Show us your lightsaber.
I mean, my fly tighter.
Your fly tighter?
TIE fighter. TIE. Like the food. Come on.
See.
You have one job.
Tighter. Oh my god.
I'm presenting to you in your upper left hand visuals for you watchers some Disney rides so you can watch, because I've only ridden the rides. I don't care about the movies.
That ride I heard is amazing.
So good.
Is it?
It looks pretty legit. I have to go to Disney. I have to.
I know. I need to see this. I need to be a part of it. And I feel like I'm really should give my Star Wars fandom card away because I haven't gone to it yet.
Me too, but who's had the time? Work.
Money.
Mostly that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, granted it's on the worst series ever made, but it's the final 3, but
tell you though,
ugh.
the last recent movies aren't. I mean, I get it, but they progress real slow. I feel like the original 3 really
I mean, well, if you look at episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, and 9, they're essentially carbon copies of 4, 5, and 6, but with a shittier plot and dialogue and acting.
I'll tell you this though. I saw 7 in theaters, and I didn't hate it. Also, I went to see it in theaters mostly because I was the last movie Carrie Fisher was in alive. So I watched that movie. It was pretty good.
She was in 8, but yeah, she was.
That's right. She was in 8, right? But she was it was But anyway, I did also that they her daughter was kind of in the movie. Those last the last 3 movies, which was kind of fun. And that I'm like, oh, that's so nice for her to honor her mom and how much not only honor her mom but also kind of honor the Star Wars side, because honestly, it's great. They're great movies. It's good movies. Just good movies. They're my comfort movie. I watching all 3, either not in order, backwards. I watched every movie, the first 3, 100 million times. Mostly because they're on Disney Plus. And as I said, they're my comfort movie. Now
that was a movie that I would watch when I was in school and I would be homesick. I would put in Star Wars, and that was what I would watch all day long, was just Star Wars.
I know, me too. I was a huge fan. I will always be. I'll tell you this too. The series and I use that in plural, have come out since, in reference to clearly, The Mandalorian. So good. And then Bad Batch, oh my god.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Andor?
What am I new here?
Oh, it's so good.
They're all so good.
Andor, I think, is probably my favorite out of all of them, and I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. It's just some of the storylines on Mandalorian kind of
they dragged a little bit.
Yeah, and it also feels like every time you're doing something his episode, it's like a quest. Oh, look, I need to go over here and get this, but I need you to do this first before you get this component, and
it's
felt
playing
very questy. Yeah.
It's like playing Legend of Zelda.
yeah, it was very questy. And you're
like, why do I have to do a side quest?
Yeah, every time you go to it. But Andor's acting and the cinematography and the story and the plot and
that's good.
Bill Skarsgård with his You ask me what I sacrificed. He's like, everything, like just explaining. Basically, he's starting this revolution. He's not going to see it come to an end, and what he sacrificed to do it is just so good. And oh God, I'm waiting for season 2. Season 2 is going to come out. I think that's probably the favorite one of it.
Chewie is my favorite. Like,
I love Chewie.
Non-verbal character. He is my favorite. Because honestly, it's giving oversized Yorkie, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, and Chewbacca, like, this is what pissed me off about the last episode, episode 9. They did a good casting job there for Rey. I think she's kind of hotter though. But anyways, in that movie, Rey is sitting there on the fence of being good and evil, right? Like, who am I going to be in this world of Star Wars Jedi, right? And they lost an opportunity to really flex that motion when they take Chewbacca, put him into, like, capture him, and then she's on the ground fighting with Kylo Ren, and she's doing the lightning thing, and she's not really knows how to control that dark side and, her light side, because she's new at everything, right? And that lightning bolt hits that thing, and she thinks that she kills Chewbacca. Right. I think you should have killed him. And I say this because it develops the story more, and it develops the character more, and it makes it push it harder. But they teetered on it, so you had like 3 seconds, and it was like literally 3 fucking seconds of Chewie, right? And then the next scene, Chewie's alive. They don't even discover, like, it's not like, hey, we'll just leave him off to the side for a little bit, and then once they get into the raid, they come across Chewie, and then it comes to find out. You didn't give that character to develop nothing of, regret and
like lost
and more hate,
friend,
right? And
friend
more
and
hate
ally.
of Kylo Ren or whatever the case may be, right? Nothing. It was literally the next scene. We're rolling. Oh, Chewie, and then it didn't leave. It left the audience like, oh shit, they just killed Chewie. Finally, or they're gonna go edgy with this. Oh, never mind. He's back.
Leave Chewie alone.
And I don't want Chewie to die. I love Chewbacca too, right? But all those characters are dying off, right? So you have Carrie Fisher's character died in that movie. Han Solo died in the first episode 7. He gets killed, right? He gets stabbed. I don't know what I have to do, but I know what I have to do. I don't think I have the strength to do it, and he like stabs him with the lightsaber, right? And then Mark Hamill dies, who shouldn't have fucking died like he did, right?
He just does, the Jedi evaporation situation.
And then he's just like, ugh, and just fucking vanishes. It was just like, honestly, I just think they were very poorly written, very poorly thought out, and they didn't do a good job and left it. They're just so bad. So bad.
All right, fine. All right, yeah.
They're not good movies.
I mean, it's just not. I feel like their transition was weird too. Was another thing, but they're trying to put a nod back to the first 3 and try to like kind of sum it up. And they're an older generation. They're, like you said, starting to die off. But like the ways they did it might have not been the most creative, I guess.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So that makes sense.
You have just the whole plot of it was stupid.
Yeah, I understand.
Like,
Meanwhile,
it was just,
I did like them. As much as I like the first 3.
Yeah,
I did like them.
I would say episodes 1, 2, and 3 are better than 7, 8, and 9.
Well, obviously, they're all those first 3 are the best ones. That midsection, that whole. Can I tell you the issues that I have with like Phantom Menace, and then like all those middle 3? Trash. Why did I watch 3 hours of this child pod racing? Like, I understand that. I see what you're trying to do. This character development, right? Trying to see how one got to where he is now, and again tying it back to the first 3, and I get it. But why am I watching this child pod race for 4 hours? Like, why am I?
Because he's the best pilot in the galaxy.
I hear you, and I understand. Again, I understand character development. I get it, and I get it. But I'm also
pod racing was probably the coolest thing about that episode.
I want more Obi-Wan. I want more. I want I just want more of it. And and I've watched all the series again of all the that they've done. I've seen all the movies. I saw Solo. Solo was
I
All
think
right.
Solo is better than 7, 8, and 9 together.
Solo was good because I like seeing the that whole like 12 parsecs reference. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I don't think Solo was that great of a movie. It wasn't the best of the Star Wars movies, but I think that it was better than 7, 8, and 9.
Right, true. But can we agree that the animated series, the hold on, it'll come to me. Return no.
You have Attack of the Clones, you have Star Wars
Attack of the
Rebels.
Clones.
They're
Rebel,
fantastic. They're fantastic.
Kind of, I don't know. Those people who did the writing in all of them, all of the animated series, they're all good. And they need to have several raises because they're all so good. They're all so good. Bad Batch, as I said, Bad Batch was great. Clone Wars, oh my God, the best one. They're all so good.
Well, that was Dave Filoni's, like, ideally it was George Lucas. I saw that stuff and just was thinking Flucus. Like George Mucus.
I was like, why is it neon? But
yeah,
it's blue milk.
Yeah, George Lucas, wanted to make those TV shows, and Dave Filoni is kind of his puppet. I don't want to say puppet, but like his right hand man. So he and George Lucas are like hand in hand. So all of his ideas that he had for Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and all those TV shows were essentially, let's sit down with George and see what he thinks and stuff. But Joe,
love them.
What is your best part of this attraction, right? This place?
Tell us.
You have all the experience in here, because I need to know what happens when you go into this place. And so if I'm a newcomer Star Wars nerd and you have been on this place and you're not a Star Wars nerd, what are some cool shit about it?
Because that's the thing, is like, it's such good theming for an amusement park. Like, it just looks great. You have all these options to like decorate and put shit in here. So like, not knowing the franchise and just walking into this world, it's kind of just like, whoa, where am I? I'm on another planet. I'm in another time. It's like very, very good. So like, all the rides are just basically about like flying and like fighting and shit. So it's all very entertaining, action packed.
So
Aesthetically
did you have any
pleasing.
interactions with the stormtroopers?
Probably. I mean, I think I didn't spend a lot of time at Hollywood Studios, but I did watch a few of the shows because like they bring up the kids and give them little lightsabers, like a lightsaber class.
Lightsaber building class. Can it get to select their own cyber crystal?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that thing is everywhere. You can.
Yeah, you can make your lightsabers everywhere on there. Like, how much are they? They're expensive, aren't they? Like 100 plus.
Depends I'm sure. On the model. You're spending at least $50.
It's not anything.
Oh, there's Kylo Ren.
I think my roommate was a stormtrooper.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and like I think it's a world you can easily walk into because like pretty much everything is explained. Because my question to you guys would be like, what do you think made this franchise, this story, this plot, like why did it blow up the way that it did?
Well,
I think it's definitely like it's because these movies came out. We weren't even born yet, Joe, you and I. So
or I
didn't realize. I keep forgetting how old you are.
The first one was before I was born.
Okay, so like I think it's like obviously like our parents watched it, right? And then it went through generations, and then as it's been expanded on as we've gotten older, or seeing, obviously like, oh, like this, and then even watching like how they even made these movies, right? They have a lot of backstory that go into it. So even that in the detail, and talking to George, like listening and talking to George Lucas, and he's done so much. It's the detail, I think, too. It really helps. It's the attention to detail, because there's so many things that we can cheap out on, and he didn't do that. And I think that's great. And in his mind's eye, I'm not sure he was like, oh, well, I did these first 3 movies, didn't really think anything of it. And then it exploded. And like, even me, like I can't even remember a time where I didn't know about Star Wars, right? It was always something in, I think my parents watched it. I think my mom was like, oh, well, you know, it was something that came out when I was a teenager and like, it seemed cool. And I watched it and whatever, and it seemed cool. Right. And then I think I watched Star Wars for the first time. I was maybe 10, maybe, if I was maybe a little older than that. And then I fell in love with it. And it wasn't anything specific, but it's just all of it. And I think a lot of my love of Star Wars comes from maybe just watching Princess Leia, like, you know, go from this little go from this little girl to being a warrior, essentially, right? She was a warrior. And that kind of said to me, oh, okay, cool. Like, I knew I could do anything, but like, she's out here fighting in space. Like, that's so cool. And I've always been like kind of a sci-fi nerd anyway. I get that side of it from my dad, because my dad's also a huge sci-fi nerd. So like, these are a lot of things that I've taken from my parents' experience that I've been able to develop based on all the different things that have come out since I started watching Star Wars. So I've just been in love with it ever since I was a kid. Like, there's never a time that I can't remember where I didn't love Star Wars. Like I've seen all the movies, seen all the series. I have merch. I have all the things. And again, including my little BB-8, this is a dog toy. So like, I'm now pushing the Star Wars onto my dog. like that's where we're at this point. And I love it.
I think like, so when the movie came out in 77, I think it was 77. And you got to remember like what was being played
I'll look it up
then,
while you talk.
right? So what was being played back then? And during that times, you had a lot of like tragedy, like movies like Earthquake and Poseidon Adventure and all these movies that were just straight tragedy events, right? And the country during that time too had a bunch of crazy crap going on, right? So I think fans were just itching to have something that was like that they could relate to and have a hero and look forward to, having something to look forward to, right? You know, a good versus evil, and the good triumphs, you know. So when it came out, and I mean, if you look back to original Star Wars 1977,
You're right. It was you're right. It was 1977.
Yeah, it shaped movie making, because nobody had been doing what they're doing. You know, like there was always been a practical effects, but to have the X-wing, you know, and leave the X-wing there, but move the camera around the X-wing instead of like having a little toy going across and the camera's back here, you know, doing it like previous sci-fi movies. So, and just having that editing style, it makes you, it engulfed the audience into that movie, you know? So you're sitting in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, or you're sitting in the cockpit of the X-wing while they're doing their Death Star run. You know, you're doing all this stuff, and you have these great characters of, you know, the little farm boy that has no hope, and he's stranded on this you know, desert planet, and
2 moons, by the way.
Yeah, 2 suns.
Oh, balloons.
Yeah,
Where that came from.
I don't know what's up with your thing. So you have like this, you know, you have the farm boy who, you know, gets put into an extraordinary situation, and how does he do? Yeah, Tatooine, right? And he goes, how do he gets into this thing? Then you got the swashbuckling pirate dude, Han Solo, with his loyal freaking partner Chewbacca. You got the damsel in distress, Princess Leia, who's not really a damsel in distress because she just kind of takes over shit, right?
Right.
Just, like, get out of my way, get this walking carpet out of my way, right? She has like, so you have all these characters that you could like relate to and be like, okay, this is how I can work. You have the old dude, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You have all this stuff going on to a little ragtag group to essentially fight this monster empire that has, you know, so
decimated an entire universe.
Yeah, just blew up a planet because why not? You know,
because she wouldn't give them the disc.
Yeah, she wouldn't give them the locations of the rebel bases, right? So you have all this stuff going on. So I think it would just it sparked people's imagination, and that's what movies are supposed to do, right? Spark their imagination, and just a time where imagination was needed and something good was needed. So I think it just kind of blew up into this thing. And I'm like, my dad used to tell me that he would take girls on dates to Star Wars, and if she liked the movie, they would go on another date. If she didn't, kick rocks.
That was
You know,
how you met your mom.
yeah, how he met his mom, or how I didn't. Well, not how
I
I met
met
my
his
mom,
mom.
right? So, but yeah, so like the first movie that I went to go see was Empire Strikes Back in the theater.
Ooh,
I was 5 or 6 years old, but
that's a good one.
yeah. So I just
Well, they're all good. What am I talking about?
it just so the movies itself are so, you know, people get so wrapped up into it's kind of like Star Trek, right? People have their things that they like about Star Trek and they like about Star Wars, but it's just something to take you away from the craziness of the world and just look and enjoy, you know, a movie that is giving you characters and something to look forward to. And, you know, you got the lightsabers, which everybody thinks is cool, you know? Yeah. So,
have you seen that there's Family Guy's got 3 episodes?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they're funny as hell, and they worked with Lucasfilms to make those too.
Well, I feel like you had to get used to for copyright, like names.
Yeah,
and
I know, but they like, you know,
drawings.
having all that stuff, but yeah, and what else is also cool about George Lucas's universe, right? We'll just say, you know, Star Wars, is that if you look at right here, it looks used. It looks like it's been there for hundreds of years, and that was the same thing that was, you know, like with the X-wings and the Millennium Falcons. Every other sci-fi movie before that, everything looked brand new, right? Like it wasn't used. So this had this used effect. Like, here's the Millennium Falcon, this bucket of bolts, you know, and the X-wings. You know, that you have the Rebel Alliance has these broken down, you know, X-wing fighters. Are just, you know, they're just kind of just scrapping stuff together to try to fight the Empire that has everything's perfect, you know. And I think those things have effect on people, you know, when you're watching a movie. So I love Star Wars my whole life. Literally have loved Star Wars my whole life. I remember having the little Star Wars action figures as a kid, right? And you know, they blew up.
Do you have the Lego sets?
No, I don't have the Lego sets, right? But
Okay. I don't either. If I had the space, I definitely have one though.
Those toys blew up, and George Lucas, that was the smart thing about George Lucas, is that he knew, like, give me all the merchandising rights. So he had all the rights to that and was just making hand over fist money with all those toys. And my dad said, he's like, you know what, if I was to do one thing over again, I'd buy you a Star Wars toy and then buy me a Star Wars toy and then just put it away, because they're worth thousands of dollars now. Like, if you had the original Star Wars toy in the box still from like the 70s, 80s and stuff, oh my god. So that's what I did. I got boxes of Star Wars toys just sitting in totes.
Love Star Wars. It makes me so happy. Just happy. It's a good time. Oh, what is that?
So Joe, what movie have you seen that is Star Wars? You said you've seen some.
I don't know. I don't know their names.
Oh Lord.
What do you remember?
What was in it? Or what was happening?
There was a something that was flying through the sand.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Through the sand.
So why haven't you watched Star Wars? Let's get the outside perspective of, and do you feel like you are left out?
No.
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 Is it so why won't you watch it?
Just busy, man. I got something to do.
Even as a kid?
I have other things to do.
Yeah, you know, I had to work and stuff. I don't know, Jason. I'm sure like somebody put it on and I just didn't pay attention.
Well, I mean, I can understand.
Curious.
I can understand, like, if from an insider looking out, like it's overwhelming. If you try to start watching it now and then try to watch everything in like consecutive order, it's a lot of names, it's a lot of planets, it's a lot happening, it's all a lot.
So should I watch them from like episode 1 on, or should I?
You can
start the way they came out. I do like chronological order.
You can watch it. You can watch it chronological order. You can. There's nothing against the laws that says you can do that. Now, how a majority of the world grew up was that they watched 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, and 3. You know, so if you're born after 1999, then you probably watched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
But if you were born before that time, you watched it 4, 5, 6,
5
1,
and
2,
6.
3.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Right.
Now, there's nothing wrong doing it that way, right?
Right, and that's fine.
I would say it's kind of better to watch it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Well, 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, and 6 are prequels to 1, 2, and 3. Kind of. Or, well, it happened before. And then, right?
4, 5, and 6 takes place after 1, 2. It's literally in chronological order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, and 6 take place with Luke Skywalker, Leia, all that stuff, right? 1, 2, 3 is Anakin Skywalker, who is Darth Vader.
Wait, what?
Hold on a minute.
Why is your brain breaking on this?
Because you're not right. Hold on.
I am too right.
Hold on, let me think.
I promise you. I promise you I'm right.
If it's one person.
and 6 is Anakin and Padme.
4, 5, and 6 is Luke, Leia, Han Solo. 4, 5, and 6. Episode 4 is A New Hope. Episode 5 is Empire Strikes Back.
No. That's fine. I'm talking about in chronological order.
In chronological order, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Episode 3. Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you have...
I'm thinking in the wakes of how they came out movie-wise. Sorry. I was thinking,
you're talking about timeline. Or, I guess,
yeah,
okay,
timeline. That's what I meant. Yeah.
No, but if you watch it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, you get to see, Darth Vader be like Darth Vader at his prime, and then how he became Darth Vader. Or you just watch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you see this little kid turn into Darth Vader.
Right.
So
then what you could do, you can start mixing in the animated series, which Clone Wars is. It's 1, 2, 3, Clone Wars.
This is saying do episode 1, episode 2, Clone Wars, episode 3.
The
Bad
Batch. Yep.
So
stories. Obi-Wan, Rebels, Andor, Rogue One.
I loved Rogue One.
Rogue One was actually really good. I did
4,
see that.
5, 6. Mandalorian.
Yeah, Boba Fett, Ahsoka.
All these.
You don't have to watch all of them.
You don't have to, but you can. But I'll tell you, you're going to be...
you should.
But you should. But I'm going to tell you...
They gave that movie a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes, episode 8.
One?
That was a fucking garbage can.
Well, the Clone Wars is going to take you forever, because there's how many seasons of that show?
7.
Oh, damn.
But they're like 30-minute episodes.
And that's true. And there's a couple episodes per season. It's all good.
Yeah, there's like 20 plus episodes a season or some shit. 15, 20.
Right. With 7 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, so you can watch it, Joe. We'll have maybe I'll do a Star Wars movie night in the Discord.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll take you on a Discord trip through 4, 5, and 6.
Let's go.
And then in a far, far away galaxy, and they go.
So I had a movie night on the ship a long time ago. The guy had never seen Star Wars, and I was like, "You never watched Star Wars?" I was like, "All right, duty day. This is what we're doing."
General Akbar.
So I brought in the movie set, and I was like, "We're starting with 4. We're gonna roll through it, right?" So episode 4, he's watching it, and then episode 5, he's just like, "Holy shit! Like, what the fuck is going on? There's so much crazy shit happening." I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "This shit's good," and I was like, "Yeah, you gotta watch it, man. You have to watch it. It's a part of American culture."
Yeah.
No, Akbar. Sorry, Admiral. Akbar,
world, universe, culture.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Next question. Which character did you most relate to?
Han Solo.
So many.
I'd say Han Solo because he was just a smart ass and freaking just a badass.
That's
Well,
true.
I don't want to say he was like a badass, but he was just a smart ass and he was just on top of his shit, like, and just was just crazy. So I would say it's Han Solo. I just love Han Solo.
Yeah, I mean, Han Solo was pretty sweet. I like Leia, but I explained that already. She went from being just like you said, damsel in distress, to being a strong, independent woman who didn't need no man, but then had a man. Like, love her. Love her. I love her. Her energy, I loved it.
Yeah, Princess Leia was awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
But I do I don't know. I like all the characters, but I say like Han Solo just because he's quick-witted and he would have like, and he knew like he was impulsive at times, but he also knew what he was fucking doing.
I mean, I also liked Anakin because Anakin was also, he was so fiercely loyal up until the end there.
Yeah. Yeah, until he betrayed
Right.
Jedi
Everybody.
and killed them all, including
killed
children.
everybody. And those children in that temple, right.
Master Anakin, what do we do? You know, lightsaber comes out, it's just like, ah!
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, there's just so much. And what I liked about like the Star Wars, like the 1, 2, and 3, but you had the Clone Wars, is that Clone Wars being it was an animated series. Like I remember when it came out, you know, I'd have it on, and I watched it. There's some hokey episodes that are all right. You're like, come on, but there's
Jar Jar was in 80% of it.
No, he wasn't. Not that much. He
My
was
last
in it,
couple seasons.
but
Yeah.
you have the droid episodes, you know, where it's C-3PO and R2-D2. Like, it's like okay, but there are some dark,
Oh yeah.
fucking dark episodes where you're just like, what the fuck?
Well,
I mean,
one of my
like people
you
just
say
getting
that?
like wasted, like
Yes.
you know, it's just like
you
oh
say that?
my god.
When they finally do the planet where they were making the clones, that was
Camino.
Thank you. That was that episode was nuts when they like finally like could get ready to destroy it and stuff like
that's
that.
in Bad Batch.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then the ones I liked too in Clone Wars. I'm trying to think. There's so many. Oh, when Darth Maul, he's like his legs are cut off.
Well,
And he's like up, and then his like brother, who the witches like kind of you know, he finds him and he's batshit.
Oh yeah.
Like nonverbal, like legs, like it's insane.
Yeah, like the Darth Vader or not Darth Maul part where he is setting the trap for Obi-Wan to finally get his battle, and Ahsoka shows up and he's just like basically like, hey, you guys are being played. Like he's like telling her, like, you guys are being played by the Empire. Like the Senator Palpatine, you know, he's the emperor, right? He's the emperor. He's the Sith Lord that's controlling everything.
From the inside out.
Yeah, and I was trying to tell Obi-Wan, but he didn't show up, so I'm telling you, right? And
the call is coming from within the house.
Yeah, it was just so it was so good. Like they did such a good job with
it's so good
tying it all in. Like in the movies, like episode 1 was pretty, like, I know you said the pod race part. I think the part that killed me, like I think the pod race part was probably the best part of the movie because it was just fast and it was, you know, really good CGI. But the part that killed me was Jar Jar.
Oh well, yeah.
And it was the overdoing of the comedy level of Jar Jar Binks, and it, you know, for everything, where sticking his head between the little capacitors and his mouth, his tongue's hanging out, right, and the over clumsiness of that character, and just they really did too much. And I rewatched it like a few years later, and I was just like, God, they destroyed this character. They should. Jar Jar could have been fun, but they did it way too much for the. It was just a marketing toy thing. That's all it was. It was to get kids to watch it and have fun, which kids of that generation would have watched it anyways because the parents had those kids. They watch 4, 5, and 6, and they're gonna go watch it regardless. So he was a marketing ploy, and the poor actor that played him, he got beat up, not like. But mentally beat up and like was on the brink of suicide because of. Oh,
that's right.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about that. And then they brought him.
Best.
Yes, and then they brought him to be a rescue Jedi guy in Ahsoka, I think. Oh, Mandalorian. That's right.
Yeah.
It was good. I think who is it? The other character I really loved him. What is his name? His name just escaped me. Oh my God. He was all robot, had a bunch of legs.
General Grievous.
Oh, Grievous. Love Grievous.
Yeah.
The menacing, he was psychotic. The amount of psychosis that General Grievous, he was all robot. And then brain, and that was it. A little bit of skull. Like he was. Oh,
He had a heart. He got shot. Did you see the first Clone Wars cartoons? Not the animated, the cartoons. They're in the Samurai Jack like art style.
yeah, I did. Yes.
So
I have.
that's like, it explains how General Grievous like was
Like
coughing.
became.
Well,
Yeah.
no, not became, but just like how he was coughing, like like Mace Windu fucks his ass up. So like there's
Ooh,
so
I
many
love
little
Mace Windu.
side cartoons and little things that were made that were great, that really pushed it to the next level.
And can I tell you, like, love Mace Windu. Loved him. Love him. Love his energy. I love anything Samuel L. Jackson does. Love that guy. And then like I was watching something specific that they were interviewing him about why his lightsaber was a different color than the rest of the Jedi's. And he was like, that was just some shit he did. Like he just CGI'd purple instead of green or red.
He wanted purple.
Right, and he said,
he
and
could
George
be
Lucas was
seen.
like, no. Right. Yes, that's it. And then George
he
Lucas
wanted to
was
be
like,
seen.
no.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, fine.
Yeah. So he wanted to be
He had a
seen in the battle
purple
scenes of
lightsaber.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
It's so good. Yeah. He he's like, can you grab my lightsaber? He's like, which one is it? It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
Yeah. I love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
I just love him. Love his energy. But yeah, I love Star Wars. It makes me so happy. And all the different shows that have come from it are so good.
So
and
they're making
highly recommend it.
3 more movies if they don't cancel them.
Okay. What are we?
So one
What are
is
we
going to
doing,
be after episode 9. It's going to be about Rey Skywalker. Rey Skywalker starting the new Jedi Order up. And then you have a movie that's supposed to be tied into the Mandalorian universe, because Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, all of them are all kind of tied into the same universe. Well, they are tied into the same universe. Not
So just for background, Ashoka was was Anakin Skywalker's
apprentice.
Padawan,
Yeah.
his apprentice. And then after he betrayed everybody, this is actually after she was arrested by the Jedi Council. Then she left the Jedi Council. She left the Jedi Order, and then she found out that he had turned to the dark side, and then she kind of disappeared. So then in the series Ahsoka, she's been bopping around, but no one's known that she's still been alive and still bopping around for the longest time. So she's an adult now rather than being teenager. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so you're gonna have that universe that's gonna like kind of a culmination of all the TV shows into one final movie.
Then okay.
And then the other one's supposed to be a movie that is at the discovery of the Force. So it's going to be like kind of like a religious-y type movie. Like they find out like what the Force is.
Oh.
So that might be kind of cool. See the start of it.
The thing I love about the Force too, it's not just like with like the human thing or humanoids. It's the plants, it's the earth, it's the ground, it's the wind, it's the water, it's all of it. It's so cool. I love that about the Force. And again, there's good and bad, obviously, but there's a nice little, also what I like about the Force is a nice little mixy space in the middle there of both of them. Like it's a good time.
The gray.
Yeah, the little bit
in between.
Middle part.
The right, in between right and wrong. Like when you read it in an instruction.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Instead of like gray, like the blue, gray, greens, we got red over here. There's a little, and I love it.
Okay.
Love every second of it.
All right.
I love Star Wars.
All right. What else you love about Star Wars there, Joseph?
Fighting. Violence.
The fighting.
The violence. Oh my God.
Love
Cutting
the
off
fighting.
hands and legs.
Ooh, love that too, by the way. Love it. And then everybody's got robot hands. It's great.
Look at my strong hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
well, anyways,
so good.
I need to go watch some Star Wars movie. If you haven't watched, it's a good movie you should watch, Joe. It's just a good movie. It's Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue
a good
One.
one.
Like you don't really, it doesn't really give you any context. Like you don't need to worry about Jedis and all that other
Nope.
stuff, right? You just watch it. It's a kind of a underground how things are like manipulated and what they're trying to stop a big force from coming. But it's
It's good.
yeah, Rogue One was
Basically,
really good.
Basically, it's the not to give away the whole movie, but it's the
prequel to Episode 4.
it's episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how how Leia got the plans, or not the plans, not the plans, but the map to the
Death Star plans. You said it
Thank
right.
you, the Death Star
Yeah,
plans.
there
That's
you go.
right. Yeah. And it's like the OG times how they even came up with the technology to even make the Death Star. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's
It is a good movie. I really want to go on this ride. Anyways, all right. Well, I think we are Star Wars out. We're talking enough about Star Wars and having some good old Star Wars stuff. What Star Wars movie you gonna watch tonight, Nicole?
I've watched so many, but I'll probably just watch the 4, 5, and 6 again because
You're
I
gonna
just
watch
love
all
them.
3 of them. I'm going with 5. I'm going Empire Strikes Back. This can be my movie.
I usually
Star
have
Wars
them.
tonight.
I usually just have them on in the background as I like bop around because I have a party to go to, a birthday thing to go to tonight. But I'll probably just have it on background.
Let Oscar
And
watch
then-
it.
He knows it better than I do. He's the one's barking at the what is it? And was it
Ewoks?
episode 5? The Ewoks and also the Sand People. Oh, that's good too. And then he's also barking at the what are they called when Luke is taken by that snow thing and then the llama-esque thing that he's riding on? What are they called?
A Tauntaun.
Tauntauns. He's barking at the Tauntauns. Good times. I know, he's strange, but love him.
The llama-esque.
The llamas, they run like this. They got hair of a llama, but run like T-Rexes. So they're like,
What is it?
It's a Tauntaun. Taun.
So you look up. So Tatooine Tauntauns.
Yeah, there he goes. Tauntaun.
I thought they smelled
God, I love
bad
that movie. So good. It's so good.
on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, them things.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's the sound. Right. See, I was right. They run like T-Rexes.
Yeah.
They look like llamas.
With horns.
It's like a mix between like a llama.
Crystal skull.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. It's a mix between like a llama, a kangaroo, and a T-Rex. Just
And then you got the Wampa, which is the snow yeti, essentially.
Oh, that's what it's called, the snow, or just it's basically,
Wampa.
or he's a yeti, or just a yeti. Then they cut his arm off.
Yeah.
So good.
He's coming up right there.
Oh, shit.
Ready? Hold on. Give it a minute. Yep.
Yeah, there he is, Luke Skywalker. Come now, boy. You smell something?
Because right, and then kills his tauntaun.
Mm-hmm.
Then he eats the tauntaun and drags Luke back to the cave.
Yeah.
Then hangs him upside down.
So if you pause right there, I'll go back. It's a little fun fact for you. Tell you, I know too much about Star Wars. It's ridiculous.
His face.
Right. Yeah, his face. So in between episodes 4 and 5, Luke got into a major car accident, had some face scars and shit. So those scars are real.
Will they write it into the show or write it into the movie?
Well, I mean, he already had the stuff, but he already had the scars. Those scars that he
Not
has on
Mark
his face
Hamill.
is from
Mark
his car
Hamill.
accident.
Are you good? You good?
Yeah.
Jeez.
From his car accident that he had between the movies.
Love Mark Hamill. He's fan. He does a lot of the voices for a lot of our shows that we watched as kids.
Yeah, he was Joker.
Yeah, he's very good.
In
He's done it.
animated Batman. He's Joker.
But Batman the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
This scene right here. This is. This scene.
Oh, this
so
is
good.
best entrance in history.
This is excellent. This is the end of Rogue One.
And beginning of 4.
Yeah.
Is this when Darth Vader comes in?
Oh, he just fucking decimates them. The
Yep.
best scene. Like,
And all you see is hold on, you'll see it. Lightsaber, best.
This
The
guy's like-
best thing.
this guy's like, fuck me.
Fuck, right. It's like him and like 40 dudes, and he just takes them all out.
It's like Joe on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choking them out.
Oh, that part right there.
That was cut ribs open.
Pwah, pwah. Just menacing. Look how cute he looks.
What a sweet baby angel. What a sweet baby angel boy.
Look how cute Darth Vader is.
Such a sweet boy.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess we should go end it. So you guys go watch your Star Wars. May the 4th be with you.
Hey.
And Return of the 5th. You guys have a great one. Thanks so much for doing it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.